Victims of crime deserve to have their cases be taken seriously and for justice to be swift.
But on the other side of that coin, those accused of crimes are constitutionally entitled to a speedy trial.
After months of research, our 4 Investigates team can definitely say that's not happening in either case in Bernalillo County. 4 investigator Jen French looks at the firewall between 2 courts.
Here's what's so bizarre. Physically, these 2 buildings are right next to each other. All cases start in Metro Court, that's this building. If it's a felony, it moves across the street to District Court. Physically, it takes me 30 seconds to walk across the street, but it's taking nearly a year for some of these cases to make the same journey.
I don't know, we just fit. There was something about us that just fit.
As high school sweethearts 35 years ago, Ron Van Wy wooed Shirley with his 1979 Pontiac Formula.
And Ron got that car to entice her to date him.
They got hitched and had a son.
She was just the strong wife.
Police say an Albuquerque woman caused a deadly crash.
Traffic was stopped when Silva slammed into the back of the victim's car.
It was 7:41 in the morning on August 10th last year. Shirley was on I-40 driving that 1979 Pontiac Formula.
She loved that car.
Police say Cynthia Silva was on meth and rear-ended Shirley.
And she's still out on the road?
Her sisters, Rita and Renee, can't forget the day.
Her husband was 10 minutes behind her in traffic.
He came upon the accident, and that's how he learned of it. And he saw his car, his wife's car, their car, sitting there.
For 10 months, Shirley's family didn't hear anything from prosecutors. There was no movement, no answers. Their case was stuck in the court firewall.
The child is being re-victimized.
And there are others enduring the same slow, painful criminal court process.
Because when you don't hear anything back and you don't get replies back, you just do give up hope.
4 Investigates chose to hide the identity of this mother to protect the privacy of her 10-year-old daughter who was raped over the course of 3 years. Police accused Tannen Pierce of the heinous assaults. 9 months later, he has yet to be assigned a case number in district court.
Going back and having to go back and get physically examined again, you know, to make sure there's no STDs and making sure, you know what I mean, all this going through therapy, I mean, we're on the ball.
This mother wants to know, is Lady Justice on the ball? The Bernalillo County District Attorney's Office admits there's a backlog of about 8,000 felony cases. We asked DA Raul Torres, what's the holdup?
This office adopted a policy that it wouldn't move forward with grand jury presentations until it had completed every aspect of the investigation and gathered every piece of discovery, because they didn't want to have a case dismissed.
Is law enforcement giving you all the evidence necessary to properly prosecute?
Well, we're working with our law enforcement partners to make sure that we have more complete investigations, and that's part of the problem. Is in the past, in the days before the local rule, we used to be able to initiate a case and then continue the investigative process and continue the process of gathering information.
The DA blames a state Supreme Court rule which requires Bernalillo County District Court to hold arraignments 10 days after an indictment, arrest, or filing of the case, whichever happens last. The rule was created to speed up felony cases and lower the jail population. But the DA believes it's actually caused a backlog in Metro and District Court. The office has been prolonging indictments to buy themselves time to build up a case.
The implementation of that rule led to the dismissal of hundreds, if not thousands, of cases and the suppression of evidence in a number of instances.
Torres wants to change the state's attempt to balance justice.
And nobody's doing anything. He's out there living a life.
The pattern's there, but the court system doesn't hold them accountable.
Lady Justice in Bernalillo County may be blind, but victims' families want her to see how she's left them stuck in the middle. Jen French, 4 Investigates.